Hi, my name's Ryan, CEO of ApplicantPro with today's hiring tip. So I was at an event this past week and I pitched to a bunch of SHRM members and a bunch of HR professionals about how they should try to rewrite their job ads to see that they would get more applicants, more qualified applicants from it. Somebody came up afterwards and said, okay, I've tried to convince my boss of this and he said no. He won't let me rewrite our job ads. And so I came up with this great strategy for this person to approach, and I think you'll find it as well. The number one thing is you should limit the scope of what you're asking for. Don't ask to rewrite all of your job ads. Don't ask to change your entire approach to hiring. Instead, limit it down to just a simple test. In the instance of a job ad, limit it down to just rewriting one of your jobs. In fact, if you want to limit it even further, limit it to just writing that job and only posting it on a specific job board. The best thing you can do is make sure that it will be comparable though. Make sure you have real data. I suggest people rewrite the job ad, and if it's different enough, post both the jobs at the same time, right? That way you can see your old, tired-looking job ad versus your new, shiny job ad, and you'll be able to track on Indeed and on CareerBuilder and any of the job boards that you work with exactly the performance of these two same jobs but completely different job ads. This is called in marketing world an A/B test, right? We're able to test side by side A versus B. Next up, limit the impact. And again, that's why I was saying maybe only post this job on one job board, not on every single job board. Don't change all of your teller job ads, just change one teller job ad in one specific location. Finally, if you really want to get your boss engaged in letting you run this test, you need to limit the amount of risk. And one of the ways you do that is you define out your entire test. You say, here's what we're going to do, and here's why we limited it in order to limit our risk. Here's how we're going to measure whether it works or not. Here's when we'll know if it worked or didn't. We'll know in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks, and we'll know based on number of applicants or number of qualified applicants. And then finally tell them, and then what? And then if it doesn't work, we'll revert back to what we were doing. If it does work, then we'll try the next job ad. By doing it this way, you're setting up a test with very clear measurements, with very clear goals, with very clear outcomes. You also look up SMART goals. This is kind of that same type of pattern. But your boss will get on board because you've limited the downside risk for them. At that point, you can really say, well, we don't really have much to lose by testing it, but we have a whole lot to gain because what if it works? What if it proves to be a massive improvement that can be a competitive edge for our company? Anyway, so that's the tips for how you go about convincing your boss to let you run a test. Limit the scope and define out the test so it can easily explain to them exactly what you're doing, why you're doing it, how you're measuring it, and how you'll know whether it worked or not. I hope that this video finds you well, and good luck hiring.